in the branding platform of Food Nation. And this is where we are branding the total collection of strongholds in the Danish agriculture and food sector. So this is a really interesting day, and our aim with this branding masterclass is hopefully to inspire all of you to apply these branding possibilities to your export and marketing work. My name is Lise Valbom, and I'm the CEO of the public-private partnership Food Nation. And with me here today, I have my good colleagues, Marianne Riisbøll and Mie Lauritsen.
Hello, everybody.
And behind the screen, you should know that we have a strong support of the rest of Team Food Nation. So this is the whole team effort presenting to you today this new tools on the platform. So I hope that you will hold on and get inspired and gain some new inspiration and energy to your export work. So thank you very much for now, for me and Marianne. And before we move on, I would like to highlight a few technical issues which will support your experience for this session. First of all, I will advise you maybe to use a headset. I would also advise you maybe to use Google Chrome as a browser. And also, you should know that we are recording this webinar so that people who are not able to join us this morning can do it whenever they like. So I will also say to you that you have the possibility to ask questions during the session in the chat, and we will do our best to answer continuously. And if not possible, we will get back to you shortly afterwards. So in Food Nation, we are a group of very curious people. So I will invite you all to present yourself in the chat. So if you would just, so we can see who is with us here today, if you would share your name and organization, so we know who is with us here today, this morning. So please do so during this kickoff, this start. Thank you very much. And I think that I'm probably not the only one who thinks that, okay, do we really need more digital tools in our life? I think we have put COVID-19 behind us and we can move on. But the case is that we find ourselves in a changed world, and the world has changed partly due to COVID, but also due to the changes that we have learned through the digital possibilities forced by COVID. So we find ourselves in this changed world, which opens new opportunities. And our ambition with this new digital tool, this virtual universe for the agriculture and food sector, is highly to support the existing export work being done by you and all our partners in the Danish agriculture and food cluster. We have experienced that it is possible to add on the digital tools to the export work. We find that it can be more effectively done in general because we can actually meet people in new ways. And this is what is our ambition with this digital tools. It is positive that we can be more effective and add new experiences to our work. It is also positive that we can gain some sustainability steps by maybe sometimes traveling less, or in general being more precise and specific with our journeys abroad. So in this way, we see a lot of positive effects by using digital processes in all ways of our work. So I would like to underline, of course, that the digital platform and the digital tools in general cannot stand alone. We love to meet people in Team Food Nation, and we will continue to do that in the future. But we do believe, and we have experienced, that we can be more effective with our work if we add on the digital processes. And this is why we are launching the virtual universe with the Academy of Sustainable Value Chains today. The aim, as I said, is to build upon your good work with your export activities. It is to grow your business contacts in new ways, in new and effective ways, and with a high level of engagement, because it is our clear experience that if we can engage in new and maybe also surprising ways with our partners and stakeholders all over the world, we actually have the possibility to gain even more and better contact. So it's not only our ambition to add a new digital tool. Of course, it's our ambition to be more effective. We believe that this new virtual universe can make the Danish agriculture and food sector stand even stronger, even more strong than it does today, because we can invite international guests to this meeting place 24/7. We can host meetings and we can host digital tours. And this is how we would like to support your export work. By using this virtual universe actively, it is our hope and ambition that we can raise awareness about the Danish agriculture and food sector's strongholds in an international context. And it is also our ambition and hope, of course, that by using this very actively, you can grow your outreach with your international contacts, and you can also grow your exports on the long term. Let me shortly introduce you to today's program. I think that we should share the universe right now. Thank you very much, because this is where we are going to do the presentations today. So today's program is, I will take you on a guided tour, shortly guided tour around this virtual universe. You will get to meet Food Nation. You will get to meet and see some of our branding materials with a strong focus on our on the defined strongholds of the agriculture and food sector. You will get an introduction to the new digital presentation of white papers, and also an introduction shortly to our latest insight report. Then you will have the launch of the Academy of Sustainable Value Chains, and you will have the opportunity to link up if you want even more information. So this is today's program, and as I said, don't hesitate to type in questions in the chat. Before we move on, I would like to ask you a small question, because Food Nation's work is all about promoting the Danish agriculture and food sector strongholds on our important export markets. So this is why I would like to introduce to you the short list, you can say, of strongholds, and ask you to participate in a small poll right here online. So with the support of the good technic team here in Food Nation, I would like to ask you the question, which will pop up on the screen. So in your opinion, what are the most important strongholds to promote Denmark internationally when we look at the agriculture and food sector? And you have 8 possibilities to choose from. You can see them on the screen. It's collaboration, gastronomy, organic, sustainability, quality and safety, health, ingredients, and innovative technology. And you can choose up to 3. So please go ahead and let's see what the result will be from this early morning. And I hope you will all chip in with your answers. As I said, you have possibility to choose between 8 and you can choose up to 3. But as you can see here, collaboration, it's sustainability and innovative technology in the lead, then followed by collaboration and quality and safety. Thank you very much for your participation here in the poll. We will now move on with the tour around the virtual universe, and where I will start by taking you to the lobby. This is the virtual universe, and in this universe you can, as you can see, walk around. You can chip into the different branding materials. And what I will start with here is to introduce you to the Meet Food Nation. You actually enter the lobby, and if we click on About Food Nation, you will get to the information booth unfolding the ultra short story that Food Nation is a public-private partnership, and it is established both by the government and leading private organizations and companies. We also have of course, the overview of our important partners, both from the public and the private sector. So Food Nation is this gateway for international stakeholders who would like more information about the Danish food cluster's products and solutions. And in the lobby, you can also request a tour. And that could both be a digital tour, but it can also be a physical tour. So you can invite your customers, your partners around the world into this digital virtual universe, and we will support you in those meetings. If I go back out here to the lobby, you will see the possibility of going into the area of cases. I will not click on it now, but you will have a showing of this later on. We also have meeting rooms where we can host large online conferences. We can, I'll just show you right here. This is where we can have large online conferences. This is where we have been hosting our global food talks. And you can also have smaller meetings where you can also, of course, link up to our newsletters and find more about the strongholds right here. Today, we are hosting the branding masterclass, and it is marked right here. And we can customize all these areas for you, so you can actually have it specified what's going on. Sorry. I would like to take you on a tour to the strongholds, where we go even closer to the fact that the positioning of the Danish strongholds is always closely linked to the United Nations sustainability goals. This is how we reach out to the world in order to say, how can we, as a small agriculture and food nation, contribute to reaching the sustainable development goals, and how can we do it in collaboration with our international partners. And then you get into this tiny planet, as we call it, where we have linked up all the different strongholds as identified. And as you were looking at shortly before, you can see gastronomy. Up here we have health, quality and safety, ingredients, and we have collaboration, innovative technology, organic, and sustainability. And let me take you into the stronghold of sustainability. So each of these sustainability hotspots, as we call them, they are built up with a lot of different branding materials, branding tools. From here, you can also go to cases directly linked to the sustainability stronghold. You can find publications, and you can find the podcast also supporting the stronghold of sustainability. We also have made small films from each stronghold, and let me just show you one of these films.
For generations, the Danish agri-food sector has developed innovative ways to make the most of nature's resources without depleting them. Today, Denmark is a global front-runner for efficient agriculture and food production with sustainability at its core. Collaboration across industry, academia, and authorities is an important driver of continuous improvement, all in support of the UN Sustainable Development Goals.
So this was a short zooming in film on sustainability. And as I said, all the different 8 strongholds have this platform with the different ways of underlining how we work with sustainability in the Danish agriculture and food sector. Of course, we have the publications as a really important tool to underline how we can claim to be leading within these different strongholds. And I would like to invite Marianne Riisbøll to take us a little bit further into how these publications are shown. So please, Marianne.
Thank you so much, Lise, and hi everyone. I've been looking forward to stand here together with you in our new virtual universe. And as Lise just said, we are standing right now in the stronghold sustainability. And in this stronghold, we have both our white papers. For several years, we have been working with white papers. And now I would like to show you our new digital version of our white papers. So now I have just clicked on one of the buttons in the universe, and we are right now on Food Nation's homepage. So here, when I'm scrolling down, you can see the different strongholds that Lise just introduced you for. And it's everything from gastronomy to organic. And if we are just following the way and take sustainability as an example, I will click here. And now we are on our digital version of our white paper of sustainability. And our aim with the white papers, even if it's the physical one or it's the digital one, it is to inform international stakeholders about how we are working within the different strongholds, how we are collaborating to reach different goals, how we're working to find solutions to the the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. The aim is also to inspire international stakeholders to work together with us, with Danish companies, inspire them to reach the same goals, inspire them to collaborate across nations. But it's also to impress international stakeholders. It's also to impress the readers of our digital branding materials with the impressive goals that we also already have perceived. It's about impressing them with the results that we have managed to reach, but it's also to impress them with the level of ambitions in the Danish agriculture and food industry. So while I'm talking, I'm just scrolling down to show you the different functions and what we wanted to do with a digital version of our white papers is to increase the possibilities to use the materials in different settings. For example, when we are going on export promotions, having meeting around the world. But we always have to think about the setting. Is it a physical branding material that could be a good tool, or is it a digital version? So this was just a short introduction of what we have been working with the last couple of months. We have the different white papers in digital versions very soon, and I hope that that you will use it in different settings. So now I will go back to our homepage. So it's always exciting to be on a webinar, and it's always exciting to be here with a new digital tool also for us. Now I'm going to Food Nation Toolbox. Yes, I think I managed to. Just need to look here on my colleague. Yeah. Great, thank you. And I will just continue here. Now I'm standing in the Food Nation Toolbox. It's again, we are on the Food Nation homepage, and here up in the corner we have the toolbox, and it's here where we have all the branding materials that you can download for free. What I would like to introduce you to now is another branding material, which is our Inside report. And every year Food Nation is launching an Inside report on Denmark as a food and agriculture nation, focusing on how Denmark is perceived on chosen export markets. So we are focusing on brand awareness, unique selling points, and every year we are making a deeper dive into a specific topic. And this year report is focusing on health and sustainability, and how that support the export of solutions and products which increase the green transition. So there is a real need for sustainable and healthy food products and solutions, both when it comes to our soil, our animals in the food production, but also us as consumers. And the question is whether key international partners are aware of Denmark as a food and agriculture nation. So I have a question for you. And I think it's time for having a poll up on the screen, because I want to ask you how many B2B decision makers in Japan, South Korea, UK, and Vietnam mention Denmark as a food and agriculture nation. So as Lise said before, we would like you to tap on the button that you think is the right answer here. It's always fun to see the results on these kind of questions, and you are really good and optimistic. Some of you are optimistic, some of you are not so much, but let's take a look in a minute. So I can see that 50% of you have already voted. 54. I'm feeling that I'm standing here in a fishing hole or something. Good. It's just the number that you think international decision makers in Japan, South Korea, and UK and Vietnam mention. How many of them mention Denmark as a food and agriculture nation? Great. Well, I think this is quite positive because this results that we all are seeing here on the screen in a minute or so. Maybe I should end the sharing. I should keep scrolling.
Yes.
But now I'm in the bottom. Yeah, good. We can see that 25 of you says that 46% of the B2B decision makers in these chosen countries mention Denmark as a food and agriculture nation. Well, I think it's quite high that 21% of you thinks that it's 74% of these decision makers, but also some of you says that it's maybe 14 or 3% that mention Denmark. And I will just scroll down in our, then I say stop sharing. Good, great. In our insight report, this is the chapter about brand awareness and unique selling points. And in this chapter, we also see the results and the answer on the question I just had. Because we are here on sixth place, Denmark. 14% of the B2B decision makers in Japan, South Korea, United Kingdom, and Vietnam says Denmark when asking them, hey, what nation pops up to your mind when you're thinking about a food and agriculture nation? And despite of your guess, my dream was that it was a quite high number, but I must say that I was quite happy when I saw this result because we are such a small country and we can't almost see us on the world map. Even we have this fact, 14% of B2B decision makers on such important export markets know us and think about us when talking about food and agriculture. So the unaided awareness of Denmark was revealed by asking the decision makers to list countries that spontaneously come to mind when thinking about food and agriculture. And when zooming in on the results, we can see that the winner, if we can say so, is China. 42% of the decision makers mentioned China. The reason why is, well, maybe because it's such a big country. It's also a close market to the countries that is the survey country this year's Insight report, and also countries like United States, Japan, France, Germany, and then we are on the shared place with Indonesia. So I think we should see this as a quite positive result, looking at the different factors. I also think that we have possibilities to increase the branding. We have the possibilities to continue our work on the export markets because we have something to deliver when talking about a green international transition. So if you're curious about exporting to these 4 markets, you know where to find new data about exporting and branding on the markets. And you're always welcome to reach out if you would like to have a talk about these materials, these numbers, or other branding materials that we have here in Food Nation. So this was my presentation for this webinar, and I would like to give the word to my colleague, Mie.
Thank you so much, Marianne. And welcome now to the launch of the Food Nation's Academy of Sustainable Value Chains. We have been looking so much forward to this day, because today, as Lisa also said earlier, we are adding a new branding tool to Food Nation's branding platform. And we hope that this will give you an alternative and also unique platform for you to communicate with your customers and also collaborative partners around the world. In the next 15 minutes, I will give you a tour around in the Academy of Sustainable Value Chains and show how you can use it. And you will also be able to ask questions during this session in the chat. So please do this. But just before I enter, I will just give you a short introduction to the Sustainable Academy of Sustainable Value Chains. Because what we want to do with this academy is to promote international cooperation and also strengthen the export of Danish products and solutions worldwide. And this has Lisa also touched upon, as this is Food Nation's main target. But the Academy showcases and highlights the best of Danish technology, equipment, ingredients, and much more within different business sectors. And it's all gathered in one place and with a sustainability perspective. And especially this format makes it possible for international decision makers to get quick or easy access to information about Danish solutions and products that fit their business segment. And also by going into this academy and browsing around, it's possible for them to get help to support their green transition. In the academy, we want to show that Denmark has a long tradition for pig production and also dairy production, and that Denmark is the place to look for if you need innovative solutions and products. So, ding, 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 now we are entering the academies. So, as you can see here, we have a lobby of the Academy of Sustainable Value Chains. And it's illustrated by these 2 tiny planets, as you can see here. And the hotspots you can see here, dairy and pig, you can actually click on and you can get deeper insight into the different value chains. But as you can also see here, there is a sticky note called financial. And if I click on that one, it's actually saying that, well, it's actually giving information about how international companies can get help to raise funds if they invest in Danish solutions. So here it is actually possible for the decision makers to see, okay, if they find something very interesting in this academy, they can actually also get help to finance.
I will now enter the dairy value chain. And as you can see here, it actually shows the milk journey from breeding here to barn and feed solutions to milk processing and research and innovation. And the red line, as you can see here, actually showcase this value chain. You can also see sticky notes out here, and actually they look a little bit funny here, but anyway, I will just click on circularity, and if you click into this one, you can actually see how we always, or that Denmark is really good on using side streams for the dairy production and turn them into high value products. That could, for example, be biogas, it is ingredients, but also meat. So we are thinking very sustainable and looking into circularity when we produce dairy products. I will then go back and just go into another one of the sticky notes, which is called data and documentation. So if you go in here, it's actually explaining how documentation can be a lever for optimized production and getting, a more sustainable production within dairy. If I then go back again, I will actually also take a look at the last sticky notes, which is begin your experience here. So I will now show you a film about the value.
Demand for dairy products will continue to rise for years to come, driven by population growth and improving income. According to the World Resources Institute, Denmark is one of the most efficient dairy-producing nations and is among the countries with the lowest greenhouse gas emissions per kilo of milk produced. In Denmark, our focus on breeding healthy and productive cows enables us to deliver science-based solutions to dairy producers around the world, supporting them to achieve their business goals through more sustainable production. Danish companies also deliver solutions that optimize the efficiency of cattle feed, improving the quality and yield of the milk produced. Others are experts in innovative barn solutions, analytical equipment, and farm management systems that support animal welfare and productivity. In dairy processing, digital technologies generate data that provides the basis for informed decision-making, so processors can continue to optimize the sustainability of their operations and business performance. The Danish Food Cluster partners with universities, research organizations, and experts across the globe to develop new tools and technologies that can bring more sustainable value to dairy production.
So this was a short introduction to the value chain of dairy production. But I will now just jump into some of the hotspots. So if I jump into barn and feed solutions, you get into a new universe, as you can say that you are in now, the barn. And if you click on feed solutions, you will get information about how optimal feed solution can secure more milk with fewer cows. And actually, how can we work on feed efficiency in the dairy production and get more out of resources. And if I want to know a little bit more about the concrete solutions here, I can actually explore cases and go into the cases as you can see here. And during the next months, we will upload even more cases, but I will start here to go into this case, which is increasing milk yield and less feed loss with innovative feed solutions. And it is a case from Villufos explaining how one of their products can actually support farmers in reducing their feed loss by prolonging the overheating of the feed mix in the summer months. So this is just one case showing that actually here you can find a good solutions that can actually support your farm project. If I then go back, then I also would like to find out where do I find companies that can actually supply me with feed solutions. So I can go into this visit companies and click on that. And then I enter into different companies, which is also companies that if you click on that one, you will get directly a link out to the company's homepage. And this is quite a good way for the international stakeholders and your counterparts to see how can they actually get more information about feed solutions going directly to the companies. Then I will just go back again, because as you can see, there's many hotspots you can dive into. And I will just show you also go into, for example, field and breeding. I will not go into the hotspot, but just say that there's different information in this part of the value chain that you can dive into, but of course also the international decision makers visiting this universe. And again, I will just show you that there are also solutions in milk processing. There is also solutions and cases within research and innovation. So it is possible to get a tour around in this value chain by tapping or clicking on the different hotspots. But we are not finished yet, because we have much more on the palette of the academies. So I will go back to the academy's lobby side here, and I will go into the pig production value chain. And this is actually built on the same principles as for the dairy production value chain. So what it can here is that the visitors in this part of the value chain can actually get assistance to their farm project or processing projects within pig production. And this is of course relevant for persons or people or decision makers that is actually in this business sector. Denmark has actually a very long experience of pig production. We have more than 100 years of experience, and the pig industry is among one of the leading industries in the world in breeding, as you can see here. And also processing and barn solutions. And actually the key to success for optimizing your pig production is optimizing all these steps in the value chains. And we have solutions showing that for the decision makers visiting this site. So let me just dive into the breeding. And here you can get information about genetics. As I said, it is the same principle as for the dairy production. So here you get information where you look into how Danish pigs at the breeding, actually that we have breeding programs that can actually drive a more sustainable pig production by looking into feed efficiency and litter sizes and so on. So here it's also possible to explore cases. And here are different cases from the Danish food cluster. and you can also visit companies and go directly to the company's homepage and get more information about the different solutions. So what I would like now is just to say that actually I would just show you the other ones also, because it's quite interesting that you can dive into the different solutions. So here also feed mix and ingredients, if you enter the barn and feed technology hotspot, or you can go into the slaughterhouses, coming up here, and get information about solutions within stunning, transport, automation, cooling solutions, and hygiene solutions. And then you can also, as for the dairy production, enter into research and innovation and get different cases on how we work with this part of the value chain. As Lise said, it is possible to host your meetings in here. And if you actually enter into the lobby, Lise said that there are different rooms where we can customize and you can host your export meetings. And then you have the possibility to go out here in the academies and get information about the two different value chains. So for all of you attending here today, and of course also others working with Danish export, we have developed this platform to give you the opportunity to set the narrative of the different value chains and set yourself apart from international competitors. These academies give you an opportunity to broaden your reach and communicate with stakeholders on the global scale, both by hosting export meetings and also to get tours around in the universe. And by the end of the day, of course, inspire all to a green transition. So explore the universe and reach out to me to set up a meeting or a guided tour in the academy. Plan a pre-meeting before a physical delegation. For example, if you have a delegation visiting Denmark, use it at fairs as a guiding tool. Arrange sales meetings. The possibilities are endless. From Food Nation side, we will continuously upload cases and companies to the platform. Already next week, you will see more cases and companies in the platform. So finally, I would just say thank you so much also to the stakeholders in the Danish food cluster who has contributed to the content of this, to this academy. And of course to Team Food Nation, who has really supported it. It's a team effort, as Lise also said in the start. But I'm just honored that I had the possibility to present this academy, but we have all been supporting this. So I will now give the word to Lise, who will give the final remarks for today's masterclass. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mia. And I will just move back to the lobby once again in our virtual universe, just so you end up by getting the about all feeling of this new virtual universe that we have launched today. So I will just turn off the virtual universe now and wrapping up this session by underlining the fact that you in Food Nation have your branding consortium. We are here to support your export works, and we will be very pleased to support with getting even more knowledge about this virtual universe when you have taken your opportunity to investigate for yourself. So please take a walk around the different possibilities, clicking on the different hotspots, moving into Academy of Sustainable Value Chains. And as me also said, we are continuously developing on this, adding more cases, and we will also like to do it in the cooperation with you. So if you find good ideas by walking around the virtual universe, don't hesitate to reach out, and we will look into the different input that we get from your side. Next step from Food Nation is actually about the Insight Report, as you heard presented by Marianne, and it's the 2 market insights where we will take deep dives on the result from Japan and also from Vietnam, 2 of the very important export markets to the Danish companies. And this will be in January. So if you are interested in getting information about the actual timing and participate, then you should send an email to Marianne and you will have her information in the chat. And we will make sure that you have the information right in your inbox. I'm just checking the chat right now and having a look at if we have any questions, and I will look at my technical support team in Team Food Nation to see if they wave their hands, if there's something that we need to follow up upon at this time. If not, I will say thank you very much to all of you for being with us to this branding masterclass, and I hope that you feel inspired, that you can actually see that you have a support here in your branding consortium at Food Nation, and that you will use the opportunity to take a closer look at the branding materials and follow the work by our website and newsletters. So for now, I would like to wish you all a very good day and happy holidays coming up very soon. So for now, thank you very much and hope to see you soon again.